Listen to my words, primitive barbarians. I come from the future. And I'm here to solve the mystery of the Forgotten City. We have a fourth and true ending to get. So we're going to be continuing, as I say, since we did get the first three endings now. And it seems like there's a bunch that we have to do to get that fourth. Now, if I remember correctly, one thing I wanted to do... Oh, hello. This is where we are. Okay, this is where it's starting us out. I was about to say one thing I wanted to do, if I remember correctly, is that we met Malaleus, and we saw that he's got them different colored eyes. Whoop. So we did want to try to see if we could sick the assassin on him. Now, I forget if the assassin already died in this time loop or if we have to repeat. We will see.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Oh, no. He hasn't.
You have to do something. A man of... You have...
Don't go in there.
What?
Just trust me. Alright, she's going. Let me check my thing here. Right, that's Galerius. Get him elected. I don't know if I have enough information right now to bring up Malaleus to the assassin. That's what we're going to find out right now. Like, we know Malaleus must be Quintius, but have we learned enough to tell this guy that?
Stop, right?
Yeah, I know. Oh, we do. Yeah. He's in the villa, right at the end of this road. He goes by Malaleus now.
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
All right. Let's see what happens. He's gonna have to go through the gladiator, right? Dominitus, I think his name is. He's guarding the villa. Taking his time. Everyone, make way. Well, you can shoot him. If you want to shoot Decius, that's fine. Did you see him? That's an assassin. That's a real assassin. Galerius, you want to...
just love springtime.
You want to see what's going to happen here? Because I'm curious. I don't know how this is going to end. Probably with the golden rule breaking, I'm assuming.
What now?
I'm here for Malleolus. Who might you be?
The name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through me.
Then go through you, I shall.
Malleolus, you fat...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh, they're repeating their conversation? Oh, no, he's gold. He's gold already. But they are repeating the conversation. Oh, hey, Sentius. They are repeating their conversation. Okay, so he does sprint.
Get to the shrine.
Yep, that's where we're going. The conversation's happening again. Did they just keep repeating the conversation? All right, cast the spell. Hey, how you doing? He looks busy. I should talk to him again later. All right, that's how he dies. Like, all of the skin and organs come off of him and turn into that portal. All right. Well, unfortunately, that didn't lead to anything. It just broke the golden rule. I wonder if you're able to get... I don't know if there would be a reason to try to sick the assassin on Malleus.
Salve, friend.
Hello.
Mind telling me who you...
I need you to take care of something for me.
Sounds serious.
Yeah, stop Fabia entering the empty shrine. Tell the assassin about it.
Stop Fabia going, but send the new arrival to the I'll go.
Now go. Also, I'm just going to follow you to your farm, because I need to talk to you about running for magistrate, if that's okay. You see, there's a Greek plaque.
You, Sisyphus.
And it's in Dooley's cage. He doesn't want to give it to me. I feel bad about taking it from him. So we came up with a plan that maybe if we could get you elected magistrate...
Fabia, listen.
There's a troublemaker coming into the city.
I know, and I'll take care of him. Just go and hide, but not in the empty shrine.
Wait, how did you know I was headed in there?
No time to explain. Go!
All right, I'll be in my bakery. Thank you, Galerius.
All right, so they actually did voice these conversations.
Don't shoot. I'm no threat. You'll find what you're looking for in the avenue. Second building on your left. I've got to run.
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
So, what about getting you elected?
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
We're living the same day over and over again.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Old King Sisyphus.
The unintentional comedy in this game, in some parts, is very good. Like Sisyphus? How so?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp a fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Yeah. At least there's that.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
You're a good man, Galerius.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend. Salve again, my Sisyphean friend. Now, what's on your mind?
Politics. That's what I'm thinking about. Politics. Ever thought about running for magistrate?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me.
If Malleolus runs, he's going to break the golden rule and kill us all.
And how could you... Oh, wait. You've seen it in another time loop, haven't you? Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
All right. I'll be going now.
All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
All right, so I think what we were saying is like in a previous loop, I believe I did steal the medicine, right? Which one was that? It was this one? Yeah. I believe I did steal it, which means I have it, which means I can get it to Lucretia before Yulia dies. Hello.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cumulatus decius won't give it to me.
Yep, I have it. That's just all over the place. You don't have it? I thought everyone here had some of it. Here, you can have it for free.
What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing, and at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
I'm a time traveler.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
Well, we already talked to her about everything, and the thing that we do need is for Yulia to wake up.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
Oh, okay, she's up. That was fast. Wow, you're doing all right.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule.
The golden rule? That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
Stars.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii.
Yeah, she gave us that too.
To be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Oh yeah, that's where you went wrong. Why would he lend you so much money?
I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
Oh, well, I feel like that is not in... We spoke with her about that particular transaction. I feel like that's not in the spirit of what she said she was offering. Oh no.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
But surely that would have broken the golden rule. Like, I'm just trying to make sense of the system of morals and laws that guide this golden rule. It seems a little inconsistent.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
So you poisoned yourself?
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what'll happen to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
I'm sorry. Can I do anything to help? Like, I could turn you into a gold statue. I don't know if that's appealing.
I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
I have a better idea. How much do you think it would cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
I don't think we've met him. I also don't remember anyone committing suicide by jumping into that villa. Maybe I can help him, too.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but... thank you.
I'll get right on it. Alright, well, let's take a look at this. A permanent solution. Okay, there that is. I don't suppose we could...
Keep you safe.
I don't suppose we could, like, lie to people and say that she died? Because probably would help her out.
Feeling all right?
It doesn't look like we have anything new to say.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving.
Well, yeah, there's the villa. So I guess he's up there. Gonna jump into it.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Can I ask you some questions about, say, escaping the underworld?
I beg your pardon?
Just like, hypothetically, if we were in the underworld, could I talk to you about maybe trying to escape from it?
Oh my. That is quite a lot to take in. You'll have to give me a moment. Let's see. If that is indeed the case, I suppose we'd better figure out what to do about it, hadn't we? We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Well, I guess I better get back to it.
May Fortuna guide you.
Well, there's other things, seems like we haven't talked to her about yet.
Ave again. Did you find what you need?
Do you know a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Why not? I have time.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay, Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic, realizing only a select few possess such powers. Says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately, the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less
On your best
fortunate than
behavior, I trust.
ourselves.
Or perhaps it's that the gods might kill you at any moment for failing their test, and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are.
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose.
What's the status of the election?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
I'd like to nominate Galerius.
I like the idea, but I know Galerius well, and his position has always been that he won't run unless Malleolus withdraws. It was only yesterday that he said to me he'd only ever run if it was absolutely necessary to make sure Sentius wasn't re-elected. So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius elected magistrate, you'd need to persuade Malleolus to withdraw somehow.
Who's allowed to vote?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Can I vote then?
Well, you're not a citizen yet, so no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Such as running smear ads against a candidate? It's not much time for that, though. Such as?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
I wasn't thinking anything untoward. Was that innuendo? I didn't take it as such. What's your role in the election?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Can we start the election now? I'm impatient.
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Want to get it over and done with? Holding it early prevent conflict? I mean, I don't have a reason for holding it early.
As you wish.
Let's talk about something else.
Certainly.
I'll be going now.
See you again soon, I hope.
Well, it seems like... oh, hey, Horatius, how are you doing?
Eye on things, Horatius?
Why did that... Okay, it just...
Any news about Centilla, Navia, or Kabash?
No sign of any of them, I'm afraid. But we do have a newcomer.
That's me!
Strangely dressed fella.
That's me you're talking about!
A traveller from a faraway land, then?
It's me!
Seems that way.
Then let's make sure he feels welcome, shall we?
Of course, priestess.
Anything new, Horatius?
What is it, citizen?
Doesn't seem so.
All right.
Alright, so how would we convince Malleolus to not run in the election, to withdraw from it? Doesn't seem... I mean, one option that we've had is if we could convince... If we had evidence to say that he's going to break the golden rule, because then Sentius would give us leave to assassinate him. I guess we do have to figure out how to get all the way up there. The problem is that we don't actually have the evidence we need to get the right to kill him.
Another one fresh out of the baths, I take it.
As far as I know. I was hoping that maybe since we found the notes in his villa talking about his slaves and the mistreatment of them, that if we saved Yulia, I was hoping that we could get like some testimony from her that possibly could incriminate him. But it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. It sounds like Sentius and people in general know what their situation is, and it's not something that he'll be arrested for or anything. So that's not going to happen. There's the possibility of getting the assassin all the way to him, and maybe something could happen there. I don't know if something could happen there, but how could something happen that wouldn't break the golden rule? I'm not sure about that. The wife, when we were talking to the wife, it seemed like she has some... Take that money. It seems like that the wife has some information, some dirt on him, but she would not tell us because she was not willing to cost him the election. If there was some way that we could get in good with the wife to get that information, then that might be our key. But how do we get in good with her if she doesn't want to ruin his chances at getting elected? She's not willing to go that far. Coin pouch. Maybe we can have another conversation with her at some point and see if any other dialogue options could lead to the wife giving us the real dirty, filthy info that we're looking for. Hey, I hear someone up here is about to commit suicide. Is that you?
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
I really need to talk to Ulpius right now.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please, please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Well, hold on. There we go. Yeah, that is why I want to talk to him.
And please, choose your words carefully.
I am nothing if not tactful. Ulpius, can we talk?
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
I was just going to ask you what's wrong.
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I'm out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know where she is.
No.
Well, okay, I got a new quest. Ask Ulpius how Scintilla would feel. I did not have the opportunity to do that.
Went through with it.
Tell Sentius I suspect Ulpius. Act Octavia... Is Octavia a Christian? Well, I mean, I don't think it's really the time to ask her about that. Did that not break the golden rule? Is suicide not break it? I guess not. I don't know. I can only assume the fact that it said ask her about the Roman plaque implies he's a secret Christian, because it was indicated that the Romans, the Christians stole the Roman plaque because it has the name of Pluto on it. So I don't know if that just outed her as a Christian. But I don't think there's not like an option here about that. Was that my fault?
That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived.
If suicide didn't break the golden rule, what does that mean?
Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the golden rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
Yep, secret Christian. What happens now?
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all.
I would like to see his reaction to it.
Well, yes.
Oh, is this, this is the obelisk that we've been talking about. Yeah, we need to put the plaques in this obelisk. And I guess this is where Pluto is hanging out? Like, it was saying, it made it sound like that if we put the plaque in the obelisk, that this door opens and then we get to see Pluto. How can we pass this test if we don't know the rules? It's a good question. It is a good question. Hey, they set a zip line up here. What else is up here? Is there anyone hanging out? Oh, this is this the door that leads to the cistern? This must be the other side of it. I don't know if... Oh. Sisyphus statue here. I don't know if there's anyone else up here. Maybe not anyone. But at least we've seen our goal. This is where this is where we're going to need to put the plaques once we find them. We have leads on 3 of them. All right, let's use the zip line. Woo! Oh. Yeah, we've been in there. Is that the sound of, like, golden statues in there? Like, hitting stuff, I guess? I don't know if there would be a reason to go back in there at any time. Does this just lead back there? And this just leads back up here, I guess. Well, we haven't had to come up here before, but I mean, we have now. I guess probably what we'll need to do is, on another loop, we'll go talk to Ulpius, and hopefully we're able to bring up Centilla before he jumps. And just see how that goes. Since, you know, now we know what he's concerned with. But I guess you can't actually do that the first time round, even though we know where she is. That is some information that we will be able to give him. And that's the, yeah. Could we get on this here? Yeah, there we go. Hit it a little too hard.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Because I'm a time traveler. I also have your boss's key. Okay, where did he land? In here? Okay, yeah, we did see. We have been down here before. I didn't know why there was a big hole in the middle here. Like, I assume that's where he landed? I don't see where else he would have landed. Like, Malleolus doesn't even seem like he noticed that. Did you notice him?
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
Do you know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
Of course not. But as I always...
I think we've spoken to him about this before.
Protect his daughter. How can we trust him to protect this city?
What aren't you telling me?
Look, if you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath this villa. Domitius says he saw a body there some weeks back.
Now, we know who that is.
Just to be clear, I take no responsibility for what happens to you down there.
I forget the guy's name, but it was the person who used to take care of Dooley. I believe he was the one who died down there. That's why Dooley's on his own.
I trust you can see yourself out.
Well, might as well go speak with the missus. See if there's anything else we can discuss. She's still crying up here? She's still crying up here. Hello?
I'm not supposed to be in here.
I know. Where do you keep your valuables?
Domitius, come quickly. We're being robbed.
I'm sorry. I had to choose that one.
Do I need to call Domitius? Get out.
All right. I guess I'm going. What you writing? Here's your chest. Well, it's okay. So they own this money. We can't just take the money. Wow, I have quite a bit of money myself. I have enough money at this point that I could buy that hemlock. I wonder, I mean, if we poisoned someone, surely that would break the golden rule. I wonder if there's anything we could do with that poison. Also, I do like that we can't even mention the body that just fell down here. Like, it's not even getting brought up. Well, alright. Let's take a look at our quests. Dig up dirt on Malleolus. Link him to Quintius. But we don't, I guess, like, we know he is, but I guess we don't actually have evidence, is what they're saying. Give willow bark to Rufus. So do we, I mean, we know the... Did she give us that? Did she give us the willow bark? Yeah, we do. Okay. Let's go looking for him. Rheumatism man. What will happen if we cure his pain?
Name's Rufus. Better watch your step.
But soon you won't have to watch yours because you won't be in pain.
What business is that of yours?
I figured out a treatment. Eat a pinch of this willow bark, and you should feel better in no time.
Willow bark? And this will work? Oh, thank God.
Oh, which god are you thanking there?
This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one.
Okay, if he owes us... Do you know a way out of here?
No, I don't. I did hear a rumor that Aurelia, the tavern keeper, has been offering to sell a way out. But I barely have 2 sesterci to rub together.
What do you think about the golden rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
Topical. Oh yeah, they are bringing up the pandemic here.
Ah, then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong, while we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned.
Oh yeah, we have preppers here. What do you think is coming?
I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting for something. I don't like it.
Well, you are right about that.
That doesn't help me.
This is something that, you know, that came up like just after we started playing, the thing about Virgil being threatened. Are you the one threatening Virgil?
No idea what you're talking about.
Well, we found an incomplete letter to him in your quarters. You're saying he's the one who's going to do the sin?
Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head. Makes you angry, mean. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted. But it's the truth. But with the willow bark, I'm already starting to feel like myself again. And I know I said I owe you one. So I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
All right. I mean, well, hopefully Virgil is so forgiving. Oh, can we talk about like a plaque? Do you know anything about a plaque? A plaque. A Roman plaque?
You again.
Hey, who are you going to vote for?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
Man, that whole thing about his daughter is end up being a really effective talking point for this election. Anything I can do to change that?
No.
I'll be going now.
See you around.
I mean, the truth of the situation that he locked up his own daughter probably would also not help Sentius in the election. Probably would not. Let's go talk to Virgil.
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings. Don't mind me trying to jump through this line right here. Oh, there we go.
Salve.
Hello.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. I hear we have you to thank for saving Julia's life. I'm glad you arrived when you did.
Oh, that's getting around, I guess. Also, I know we just met, but don't worry about the threats. It's just Rufius. He's not gonna hurt you.
What demon or spirit told you about that?
I found an incomplete note in his house. Yes, I went inside his house and looked around, and I'd do it to you as well.
You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Yes, he won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I found a treatment for his rheumatism, which was making him agitated and compounding some other personal issues, such as his secret Christianity, which I probably should not be talking to you about.
Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out.
Happy to help. I think he wants to help clean up the graffiti, too.
Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Well, I guess nothing else to talk about, so I guess I'll be going now.
Nice to talk to you.
So that's resolved. Does that mean that goes complete? Yeah, the sinner is now complete. I don't know if that led it to anything or if that was just like a red herring. Okay, the next loop we have to talk to Ulpius. Okay, we have to somehow figure out a way to get Malleus to drop out. Though, probably has to do with his secret Christianity. We're not sure how to prove that yet. The fourth plaque. Yeah, okay, so we don't know anything about the fourth plaque. The Egyptian plaque. We did ask Georgius about Kabash, and he said that he disappeared at the temple. And I am assuming that's the temple that has, like, the old man in it, in the cave. Georgius. Well, we know about the Greek plaque. We asked Georgius, and we know it's in Dooley's cage. The Roman plaque. Oh, we can ask Octavia about it. I mean, I guess if we could find Octavia on the map, I guess we could ask her. Where did she go? So, okay, yeah, there she is. We've asked Rufius, we've asked Malleus about it. Neither of them...
Dooley, how are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die in here?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
I hope so. Galerius, what happens when you die?
You're not going to die anytime soon, Dooley.
My mother told me, when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river and your spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
I can answer that.
Well, yes, but...
Is it true that if you were good, you get to go to Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
Something like that, but...
If I die and go to Tartarus because they say I've been bad?
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley. I promise.
Thank you, Galerius. Thank you.
Now, I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, all right?
All right, Galerius. See you then.
Well, that's nice of Galerius, comforting Dooley. Dooley's concerned about issues of the afterlife. If the law says he's bad, then does that mean that he goes to Tartarus? I mean, the law has not said that he's bad. The law has said that he has the potential to do something bad, which is why he's locked up. Oh, the Roman plaque's right there. Hey, Octavia? Hey, Octavia? I can see your little Christian shrine. Look, I was raised Catholic. I recognize the fish symbol on that. It's not a cross, but you're not fooling me what that is. I can see the plaque from here, Octavia. Octavia, where's the key? Do you have the key? Well, I don't know when she might come out of there. Maybe if I say... Oh, what's the stone disc? A symbol of a fish. It might be religious in nature. Maybe. Well, maybe if I stop the other guy from committing suicide, maybe she'll be so impressed with me that she'll give me this key. All right. Well, I mean, at least we know this much. Hey, look at my holy light. I'm holding here, Octavia. My light, just like the light of Jesus. No? Okay. Well, okay. Let's take a look at another one. Strange that this one did not advance beyond talking to George. Well, I mean, I guess it's because this is the overarching subject. It's not going to be completed until I find the plaque. It did check off asking Georgius and Dooley. Egyptian. Ask the old man. Okay. The old man, I'm going to guess, is the guy in the cave who wanted to talk philosophy with us, but we didn't know the name of the god who was causing this. We know it now. Let's go talk to that guy. Maybe he can lead us to Kabush. We're gonna have to find the temple where the entrance to that cave was. I mean, you can see where the guy is, but that doesn't tell us where the entrance was. Anything here? Oh, I could probably put that down. Anything here to look at? Oh yeah, this is this. The statue peeler is inside. She's inside that one anyway. Is this the one with the gold bow in it? Oh, hey, he's cleaning that up.
You again.
Well, I guess he doesn't have anything to say about that. No, we've walked around here. Maybe a local Greek resident knows more about this statue. Okay, yeah, here's the entrance. Hey.
Join me by the fire. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
You first.
It is best you do not know my name, for merely to speak of my existence in the city above could could bring destruction on you all. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
How curious. Well, I'm looking for a plaque that was removed from the obelisk.
Ah, yes, that cursed thing. I know exactly where it is. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you.
I'm pretty good at pretending to be astute.
Question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Yes. The name of the god is Pluto, god of the Underworld.
Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
Sounds easy enough.
Wonderful. Then let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
As I stroke my chin, I will say, I'm not sure. It is a complex question.
You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. It is probably why I became a philosopher. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here with the Golden Rule, surely your struggle can only have become more difficult.
It is.
Well, that's reassuring. And the truth is, you're not alone. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the Golden Rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, whose version of right and wrong, old man?
That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
Well, probably not, no.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet?
What if there was no such thing as a correct morality?
So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individually? Or must we simply follow the laws and customs of whichever community we're in?
Well, if we're talking about the Golden Rule, it seems to be the third one, since, you know, some of the people in the city are up to some, what I would consider bad things, but clearly are not considered sins by the laws and customs of this community. But in any other society, you might need to just decide for yourself.
So if a man feels that stoning to death his unfaithful wife is right, then is it right?
No, that's absurd. What if there was an option for yes? I noticed they're not giving us that many options for these choices. It's like they're kind of railroading you a bit into a limited number of dialogue choices.
I agree, but why? Didn't you just say right and wrong depends on the individual?
If he feels it's right to kill his wife, then he's confused or sick.
I see. So you get to decide right from wrong, but People who see things differently are not allowed. What makes you special?
Oh, I can answer that. I mean, the answer is I'm a time traveler. See, that option is not there. Like, I actually have a concrete answer to this question. I know it's, like, rhetorical, but I actually do have a real answer, and that is I'm a time traveler, so I get to see a variety of different choices made by the same people from the same situation, and I get to see how they turn out, and I get to see which decisions break the golden rule, so I do have a perspective on this that everyone else does not. I cannot actually use that as an answer, though. So we will say, empathy. It's the cornerstone of human morality.
Empathy? The emotion? Let me ask you this. Imagine you were forced to choose between the death of your beloved spouse and the death of two innocent strangers. Knowing there will be no legal consequences, who would you mark for death?
Well, I mean, if I had my modern technology, I could probably post you any number of trolley question memes that would put you in your place, but I don't have those. I only have two options. That if I'm going with what I feel, I mean, it would have to be the two strangers.
Of course. Everyone would. Our empathy, like a siren song calling us away from our true path, would lure us toward the greater evil. Can such a beguiling thing be a reliable cornerstone for anything, let alone the perfect moral code?
What if the two other strangers were bad, though? Like, what if they were bad people, and I'm making the morally correct decision to kill them instead of my wife? What then, old man? What then? I suppose not. But what's your point?
My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
Well, what about do not kill? Is that not hard and fast?
Surely you would agree there are circumstances where an exception may be made, such as where it is necessary for self-defense or to prevent a greater evil. For any rule, you can imagine there are countless situations in which that rule may be suspended, and those situations are impossible to codify. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
We don't get too much of an answer for this. Life under tyranny, no utopia, I agree. Sure, why not? Not sure about that. I think you're wrong. I mean, are we... am I responding to just the last answer, that life under tyranny is not a utopia? I guess I would agree.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions.
What's your story?
You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story.
That's my favorite kind.
I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night, I found myself in a tavern in an argument with a drunken mercenary. It became heated. He drew a gladius, and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny.
Well, that's interesting that he realized who Karen was and that he was dead. Because it doesn't seem like anyone else realized that. Hades? You mean Pluto?
They are one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto, but long before that, my people called him Hades.
Why can't you return to the surface?
My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again.
So Hades just, this cave is Hades' blind spot. Just doesn't know what, which means anything goes down here. Why can't you tell me your name?
I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive.
Where is everyone else? You said there were 12 people in all, right?
I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away. Some from malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years.
It is curious to know what that means if someone dies, since this is the underworld. But I guess we're not bringing that up. How have you survived down here? Doesn't seem like you can grow plants or anything.
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients I need. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation. So I like to imagine arguments, where I argue both sides. But, like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner.
What other things in life are you talking about that are better with a partner, hermit philosopher? Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
Do you know of a way out of here?
Ha! If I did, would I be living like this?
I guess there's a point. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Did we not discuss it at length already? Oh, I see. You're toying with me. Ha!
Like, I'm just going through all my tree options here. I see I have a dialogue tree, and I need to gray out all the options. Do you know where I can find a plaque that was removed from the obelisk?
You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription.
I am.
It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you, if Kabash had not already taken it.
Where did Kabash go?
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the Shrine of Persephone became the Shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans.
What does this have to do with Kabish?
I'm getting to that. You see, it was among these old Greek relics that I found the thing you seek. An even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription.
What did it say?
We had no idea until years later, when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail.
What's in there?
There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
Thanks. I guess I'll be going now.
I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
Sure. All right, well. Now we're on the trail. Oh, there it is. We're on the trail of Kabash. But what is this thing we have to see for ourselves? Hear a sound? Oh yeah, I do hear a sound. That's the wooden one, I think. Anyone else? Right, we're familiar with this expression. Thank you. Senate. I think I had that board game when I was a kid. Is that him?
Stop. Do not come any closer. Who are you?
I say, who are you?
I am Kabash. And let me guess, another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors,
I'm just looking for an Egyptian plaque.
To what end?
I need to return it to the obelisk.
That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was planning to return it myself, but for now, I must remain. Here, take it, and restore the honor of Osiris.
Oh, thanks. Osiris, Lord of Silence. Well, thank you.
Now, as for the other plaque.
Yeah, the fourth plaque, the unknown one. Do you know about it?
Indeed. I have it right here.
Wow, a two-plaque man.
I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was.
May I have it?
You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it.
Why is that?
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
How so?
I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is?
Well, it appears to be the Egyptian Underworld.
It has a name, and that is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story, and here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers, but instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld, they desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron. As if that desecration was not enough, they built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and the cycle began anew.
Well, I mean, we met Karen. She seems to be fine with the name. As far as the god of the dead, I mean, I'm trying to open up his door and talk to him. We can see what name he wants to go by, I guess. But I can see why you'd be unhappy. Well, actually, yeah, I can see why you'd be unhappy with the Greeks and Romans.
I am glad to hear it. Which brings me to this other, fourth plaque. It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris's name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us, and that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this, I cannot accept. I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris once more.
What does the inscription say?
You will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris's name.
Please don't.
You are too late. It is done.
And now I'm gonna have to go in after that.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness.
We'll see. But first I have some questions for you.
If it will help you to see reason, then ask.
What's your story?
I am from Rakotis, which you may know as Alexandria, the name of the city the Greeks built over it. I was a fisherman, like my father before me. Since the Romans had taken over from the Greeks, I took the opportunity to learn Latin and eventually traveled to Rome. When the fires broke out last year, I tried to help. I gathered terrified locals into my boat and led many of them to safety farther along the Tiber. On my 7th trip, a passenger demanded I wait for his brother. But we were full to almost sinking, and smoke was all around us. I told him his brother would have to save himself, and he tried to bribe me by placing a coin into my hand. When I refused, he drew a dagger and thrust it between my ribs. I awoke on the banks of the river to a stranger wearing a ram headdress. He said his name was Kirti, and at the time, I simply thought him odd. It did not dawn on me until much later that he was the Kirti, the ram-headed ferryman described in the Book of the Dead.
Do you know a way out of here?
This is where I belong, as caretaker of the memories of my people. If our ways are to be remembered, it falls to me.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I think if someone is to break the Golden Rule, it will not be me. For I try to live as I always have by the command of the goddess Ma'at. Do to the doer to make him do. As for the punishment that will come from it, I finally understand why it has long been said among my people that gold is the skin of the gods.
Hey, what do you think is down there?
I do not know. What could possibly lie beneath the underworld? Perhaps it is infinite darkness. Perhaps it is the lair of Amit, the devourer of souls. All I know is, it would be unwise to venture down there.
Well, I can't wait to ask Amit what's his story. That just makes me want to go down there even more.
Is everyone so contrary where you are from? Do not even consider it.
Is everyone so contrary where I'm from? Oh, buddy, you have no idea. I'll be going now.
Good. Be gone from this place. Wait. You are planning to go down there. I see it in your eyes.
Yeah, I am. I am.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness.
I'll find a way back up.
We shall see.
All right, well, thank you for the one plaque. I wish you just given me the second one. Woo! Boom! Mysterious plaque. There we go. Okay, it's Sumerian. Nurgle, the fierce one. We recently heard about Nurgle. Not in this game, but... Can't seem to jump up here. Okay, there we go. An even more ancient underworld with even more ancient gold statues. I don't see Amit down here anywhere. The old boulder roll. Probably running into those spikes are probably not a good idea. Pity there's no, like, ancient script. They're trying to defend themselves from something. Pity there's no ancient script which tells us what was the sin that condemned each of these levels of the underworld.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
There's no need for this to end in violence.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege, but you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Just hear me out.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
Something can be destroyed by the truth, deserves to be destroyed by the truth. There's no shame in building on the works of people who came before you, just taking all the plaques taken from the desecrated obelisk. Well, I mean, the last one is the true one. I don't know if he'll accept it. I don't know if he'll like the idea of me putting the plaque back in the obelisk. I don't think he would like the second one, considering how mad he is about the Greeks building on top of the Egyptian underworld. Trying to hit him with some two-fisted aggressive philosophy. I don't know what he'll think about that. Sure, let's give it to him, though.
Then you admit it. You wish to destroy the sacred beliefs of my people. I will not allow this. Many of my ancestors endured great hardship to live good lives so that we may descend to the Duat in death and be judged accordingly. We prepare to have our hearts weighed on Anubis' scales and to swear ourselves innocent of sin before the 42 assessors of Ma'at. And yet, I arrive here to find the Book of the Dead contained only a seed of truth. And now, I ask myself, did our priests steal and embellish the stories of an older people and feed us lies all our lives simply to trick us into obedience?
Well, it sounds like you're talking yourself into it. You know, it sounds like you're convincing yourself of that. I'm barely saying anything. Isn't being a good person a worthwhile pursuit in and of itself?
I am not sure I follow. Speak plainly.
Even if your beliefs in the afterlife weren't quite accurate, isn't the important thing is they motivated you to give good lives?
Perhaps there is some truth in that. What is your point?
Are you going to abandon a lifetime of good character now that it matters most just because you found out you were misled?
You are persuasive. Very well. I will let you live, and you may do what you will with that plaque. I will remain here for a while and attempt to learn what I can about the foundations of my people's beliefs. Go.
Oh, that was easy. I thought we were about to have to find out if killing someone in self-defense is indeed a breaking of the golden rule. Well, I'll just leave you there. Wow, so in this one quest, we actually ended up getting 2 of the plaques. Okay, now that's where we went in. It's like that one, the Greek plaque, seems like it's going to be a bit of an effort to get, because that's the one where we have to get Malleolus elected magistrate. But this one, we just came down here, and we got 2 already. The Roman plaque, I think that we got a beat on that. We know where it is, and we know who has it. It's just that we're going to have to be able to talk to Octavia in a better circumstance.
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable.
He's vibrating with excitement about this flashlight.
Good to see you again, friend. Did you find what you need?
I guess I can't talk to him about Kabish.
I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
All right. Okay, so, woo! All right, so that actually went very well. And we didn't have to kill Kabish. So, did that end that particular quest? Yeah, Egyptian is not here. Yeah, Egyptian and Mystery Plaque are both labeled as complete now. Alright, so we emerge from the surface victorious, double plaques in hand. I assume that we shouldn't put them in the obelisk until we have all 4, because, you know, if we have to time loop again, and if we left them here, then, you know, we'd have to get them again, I assume. So we will just keep holding them in hand, so we can take them through the time loops with us. And, yeah, I guess when we time loop again, the first thing we'll have to do is try to stop Ulfius from killing himself. Hopefully that lets us talk to Octavia more, and hopefully we'll get her to hopefully we'll be able to talk to her about that Roman plaque in that case. As far as the Greek plaque goes, we're going to have to find some dirt on Malleus, and getting his wife to open up to us about that seems like it's the most likely option. For right now, though, I think that we're going to take a break because we got a good amount done. I'm quite happy with the progress that we made here. Hello.
A golden bow, just like Apollo and Diana.
Yeah, just like Diana's. Isn't that weird? What an odd resemblance. All right, we'll just look out. Ave to you. We'll just look out at the beautiful scenery, and we'll consider what we have to do next time. The, like I said, Roman plaque, next up on the list probably. Then the Greek plaque is probably the last one. After that, we put them in the obelisk, which is supposed to open up the Great Palace up there. And I assume then Pluto is going to be in there. We'll see what happens then, as we continue with the Forgotten City.